Good morning, Lisa. Welcome to the Morning Muffin Show, your morning carbo load of real estate.
You almost sang the whole thing.
I know it's not a song. I need to have somebody write a jingle for it. You play the piano. Have you ever thought about jingles?
No.
Don't give me that look.
Oh, that's funny. No, I actually have not thought about jingles. I was trained classically.
Oh, and classic. You're too above the Jingle Network. I see how.
No, normally what I play right now, you know what I actually play?
Hmm.
My favorite thing to play on the piano is Bohemian Rhapsody.
Oh, that's fun. It's pretty.
It's really awesome. Anyway, good
Okay,
morning, Jen. How are you today?
good. We're talking about mobile homes
And tiny homes?
with a
Maybe?
question mark. Mobile homes, question mark. Why is it with a question mark?
Why is there a question mark?
Because there's so many to choose from. There's the traditional single and double wides, right? Then we got new tiny homes, we got container homes, we got RVs, we got everything that fits into this old category of mobile homes that is transitioning into something new because of high demand.
Yes. High demand.
Mm-hmm.
Homes are unaffordable for many, and so tiny homes is an option for people.
It is. It is. Okay, so um should we start with manufactured homes and tiny homes and then do RVs last, or should we do RVs
Whatever.
first?
You go for it, girl.
Okay. Let me just look at my tabs because I have about 10 open and I don't remember exactly what's what. Okay, so hold on. Those are RVs. Okay, so we're talking about shipping container homes first. Okay, let's just talk about that. You've heard about it, right?
I've heard about it, and I don't know. One of the tabs that I sent you is actually a company here in South Minneapolis that makes them called Black Box, I believe it is.
Yes.
And they make, I actually tried calling them this morning. They didn't answer the phone, but because I wanted to just chat them up a little bit. But they look beautiful.
Yes, and I've actually talked to them before. So let me share my screen here. Oops. Sorry. I did too many tabs open.
So
Share
what I know about container homes is containers usually 40 feet wide, 8 foot, I'm sorry, 40 feet long, 8 foot wide. You can add more than one. And you can get them with 9.5 foot ceilings is the taller version of them. But look at how cool that looks.
screen.
I mean, I don't necessarily
Yes.
like the outside of that with the numbers and everything on it, but that looks
Oh,
amazing with that fireplace right outside the door there, or
right
on the door. That's what they were talking about. It's on the door.
on the door. So we have some here. What we're seeing a lot is like this is in someone's backyard here. Can you see that I
Yeah.
highlighted? A lot of people are using them for she sheds, extra like guest house in the backyard and whatnot. I've actually talked to the people at Black Box before. I have had several clients looking for it. So before we can talk about tiny homes, we need to talk about the laws, the zoning, the statutes that actually encompass home building and take a step back. Okay. So there have been, I'm going to stop sharing screen. There has been a bunch of turnover in laws that actually think that states have discriminated against smaller homes, smaller affordable homes, and they're trying to overturn those laws. Now, many states have, including Minnesota. However, okay, so we have the United States, right? This is just the giant onion from the outside in. We got United States, we got each of the states, then we got county, and then we got city laws, right?
Right.
And inside, what cities are doing is they're making them still unaffordable. So we can talk about that. I know I've talked about it before, how they're a maximum house or minimum house size, which is really frustrating. And I actually have some articles here about so they're share screen. Sorry. I have a task to do. Back sheet for tiny houses. This is the one that you got here, right?
Right. I saw that. And all the tiny homes, I mean, you can build a tiny home, but you still have to follow all the building codes and the
Yes.
rules. And
Yes.
this PDF we can share, and it goes into some of the building codes at the bottom of this sheet.
Mhm.
Oh, and there it is. You have a minimum house size of 24 by 24 or a minimum dimension of 20 feet. Okay.
And because of these varying requirements, the jurisdiction must be consulted for specific. So, meaning like also the municipality and whatnot could be. These zoning ordinances vary. Okay. Municipalities establish zoning ordinance regulation, land use size. These zonings are, right? So,
Right.
this is the state rule, but what they're saying is cities can be more strict. So, but you also have, even though these houses are cheap, you still have to buy the land. You still have to put on the utilities. You still have to have, plumbing and a foundation. And so these costs start adding up. I mean, you can, how much, depending upon where you are in a city, depends on how much that lot is. I know there's some lots in Lakeville that are, I like to pick on Lakeville. They're really expensive. It's 125 for like a chunk of land there. I've seen a couple deals where they go down to 80, but
That's
80,000.
expensive.
That's
When you're talking
expensive.
about building a home on top of that, when you're trying to talk about affordable housing, that's not affordable.
That's not affordable at all because that doesn't count the foundation. That doesn't count the utilities. That's
Right.
just a piece of land. And maybe that is. Maybe that already has the utilities on it, but it doesn't have the foundation. And so who knows, depending upon where you buy it. And then you have to do what the development wants it to do if you're buying within a development. And okay, so we can talk about this all day, but I'm going to just share it later. Okay. So we have some other things that I will share those in the notes. And then but let's Minneapolis is actually, I don't know if you've ever shown them, but manufactured homes. So they're not the double wides that we're used to, but they're actually like you can buy like half a house, two halves of a house, and they're prefabbed, and then they ship them over, and they put them together, and then they do a lot of I don't know, duct taping it together. I don't know what they do. They don't duct tape it. Don't. I just in my head that's what I'm doing. So
I don't think anybody believes you anyway.
no, I know, right? No, don't. I'm just trying to be funny. So, but then they put it in North Minneapolis. I've seen a lot of them, and they're really nice. They're really, really nice. You would have no idea that it's a manufactured home. It does have a foundation, and it's super affordable. A lot of builders, like first-time builders, are kind of doing that, buying up these lots, vacant lots in North Minneapolis from the city because maybe there was a house that was condemned and they tore it down, and now there's a vacant lot sitting there. St. Paul and Minneapolis have different rules about condemned houses. Minneapolis is more likely, I think, to tear it down than to rehab it, whereas St. Paul, they want to ensure the integrity of the historical integrity of the city.
Mhm.
So they're more willing to spend the time to rehab it. But and so there's some places that you can find in the city for that. And then you can call us if you have any questions about that. And then oh gosh. So have you heard there is a podcast that I have here? Um uh, go away. How do I make those like little spam pop-ups go away?
I have
But
no
they
idea.
it doesn't have an X on it. So, and I don't want him to bother me, but this is mobile home park investing. There's Hack Your Wealth. It's a one of those investment websites, podcasts with Andrew Chen, and he talks to this man named Andrew Keel, and I'll put this down in there about buying mobile homes and mobile home parks and investing in it. It's basically like buying a horizontal apartment building, right?
Oh, that's a good way. That's a good analogy.
Yeah. So, and then there is, I don't know how deep we want to go into this rabbit hole because we like to keep our things short. But
But that depends on you because you're the one who usually goes down that hole.
I know my brain goes so fast. Okay, we want to talk about mobile home parks. Okay, when I first moved here, I was shocked at some of the mobile home parks because some of them are very um rugged, older.
Right? Mm-hmm.
And where I grew up in the Puyallup Valley in Washington, there's some mobile home parks which are absolutely gorgeous, like perfect lawns, like the kinds you see in like movies and things like that. Like they're pristine. And so I was kind of shocked to see the big swing. Although I'm just going to tell you, I didn't move to Minneapolis. I moved to northern Minnesota when I first came here, and I think it was the poverty. I was shocked at the poverty. But they what is happening along with that is the owners of the parks are now selling them to investors that are redeveloping the land. In the 1970s, single wide, double wide homes that are in these older parks aren't as mobile as they used to be, or not that they ever were. That was, I think, always the big problem. But it takes, a lot of money to move a mobile home.
It does.
And depending upon the age of it, will it even make it out of there in one piece? The road might shake it to death. you know?
Well, when you're saying expensive, you're talking about between like $5,000 and $15,000, depending on where you're going.
I
To
think
move
that
your mobile home.
I think that is a very low number.
Well, that's what I actually read in something today. So
that I would be impressed to see a company do it for 5. I really would.
probably.
But yeah. So I mean the numbers that I've seen and I've heard are between 10 and 17.
Oh, that's high. That's a
It
lot.
is
It's
high.
expensive. People living in mobile home parks typically don't have $10,000 to $15,000 necessarily to move their homes.
Mm-hmm. So what they're doing is there is a nonprofit that helps mobile home residents form an association or a co-op. And what they do is they will help write the association papers pro bono, and then they help find financing for the association to buy out that investor and buy their land. Of course, what that then looks like is they're going to be taking out a loan for the land. And so all the homeowners are going to be paying off this loan together. So that definitely those numbers might change your living situation already, but it is a way to keep the community intact. And I think it's wonderful.
Well, and I think it would give more pride of ownership and keep it. I don't know if I sent you that link, but I did find one in Fridley. There's like 5 or something in the state from what I read this morning about these resident-owned mobile parks. And there is one in Fridley where what do they call it? They call it resident-owned mobile parks. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So
it's awesome. I love it. Okay, and now, so we talked about tiny homes, we talked about manufactured homes. Let's talk about RV.
RV life. People are buying. RV sales are off the charts.
Off the charts. Okay.
Because of COVID.
Oh, yeah. Oh, absolutely. Okay. I found this article I'm going to share it from Afar that says, oh my gosh. Okay. It said that the numbers. Hold on. Where is it? Okay. RV ownership, which now stands at 11 million American households. Can you believe that number? That's a huge number.
I wonder, did you see how much that has increased over the past year by any chance?
Okay, so this article is from I think 2019. And the other article that I saw was 2017. So I don't know how much. I didn't see how much. I'm just listing this article here. Okay. I'm hoping that they did their fact checking.
I'm sure they did.
But it says that boomers are now not the majority RV owners. It's actually Gen Xers. They're picking their
That
families up,
surprises me.
and I mean, especially during COVID, it makes so much sense. Like,
Well,
you're already homeschooled. Like, let's take this home on the road and let's give you an education in life.
well, what we talked about before we came live was I know 3 families who are actually going on the road during COVID. One is a woman from our office who took her 2 kids. Her and her husband took her 2 kids, and they are RVing and homeschooling and just exploring the United States. I mean, how cool is that? And then I know another family in Denver who took their 2 kids to live in a van, and they're going to go do co-op living and work the land and give their kids a great education that way. And then I just have a friend of mine who's him and his wife they sold their home, got an RV, went and hit the road.
I love that. Actually, the first person you talked about, Robin Voorhees, she is a real estate agent in our office, is a dear and close friend of mine. And we actually met the week before COVID started and had lunch. And number one, we were talking about COVID. Number two, she told me about this exciting thing with her kids. And I love her so much for saying this, but oh my God, I'm going to start to cry.
She's going to get misty.
I'm getting misty. She said, what a way to give my children the experience and teach them about true empathy through seeing the lives of the people they hear about on TV and things like that. Like hearing about, the poverty and seeing it and witnessing it and being there. And oh my gosh, I love that. It's true. It's true because we can be in our own little bubbles at home. The kids are on their iPads, doing, watching who knows what, like Blippy, if you're my son, right? And just in this like little bubble, racial bubble. That's the other thing too, is we tend to be, in our own little bubble. Let's go out and see and talk to the people and hear from the people. I love this. And I can totally understand why the rising trend is what it is.
It's pretty amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It is so amazing. I love it. Okay. But this is enough. I mean, we're running on 17 minutes.
Oh my gosh, we are.
I know we'll put the articles in I have a lot of them. So today's comments, you can flip through, take what you want, leave the rest. But this is stuff that we think about and we talk about. And this is why we open this floor up to everyone. So when you have a chance, comment on something that you want to see. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel. And tomorrow is Weekend Wednesday. We are talking about, oh gosh, family games.
Oh my goodness. I've got some fun family games.
I'm so excited. It's Weekend Wednesday. It's the weekend before Christmas. We could talk about, what kind of games we play at home. I have a really fun one that I'm sure you guys have all heard about, but I can't wait to show you.
It'll be tomorrow. All right.
It'll be tomorrow. Okay.
Have a great day.
Bye.
Bye.